Back to the air conditioning on this 1990 560 SEL. This is a 126 chassis. If you've seen the previous two videos, you've seen me do the preliminary and do the recovery. Now we are going to do the recharge. Always double check your digital Bluetooth scales all the time. Make sure they're working. You see it's 170. When I take this off, it should go to 0. It goes to 0. And the little wave here is we have these little gusts of winds. Another important topic I don't always mention. Weigh the tank first prior to hooking them up, and what allow you write that weight down so when you're all finished you know you got the right amount in every time, because if it doesn't match, that means you did something wrong. So get in the first one, turn off the vacuum, open up the refrigerant, let it go in. It's now filling up on the high side. You can see it there. Let me get it so I can see it. Oh yeah, there. And by the way, this is a 126 chassis, so we go to 126, 1,300 grams. But because this was retrofitted over to 134, you do not put in 1,300 grams. This will probably be around 1,210 grams, 130 grams, somewhere around in that area. As you see, we're approaching 1,000 right now. And if everything was done correctly and you know what you were doing, under no circumstances do you ever have to shake a can or warm anything up or do anything, because if you've done everything correctly and right, it will work every time and it will fill your entire load up with refrigerant within seconds, minute. And I'm choking it down as I approach my target, and I'm gonna choke it and then I'll meter it after 190 or so. Right about there. Choke it down. There we go. I just stopped it right there. I won't go no more than that right now. You can see the refrigerant still moving inside here, and we can see I fed it in the high side, so my pressure is 105 on this side, 75. It's only letting meter through. The expansion valve is holding back to that part and won't let none through on the low side. Now this car has been here in the sun, in the heat, since this morning, so it's baking hot inside. And even though it's like 120 degrees inside, proper vacuum, everything proper, you have the gas laws on your side, all the refrigerant dumps in just like that, no problem. Never take no for an answer. There's no reason it should never fully dump your entire refrigerant load. Damn, it's hot in here. Your entire refrigerant load into the vehicle. So let's start this puppy up. Okay, we're up and on, high speed, out the dash. All the dash vents are open. All the dash vents are open. And I forgot to get my temperature probes, but at 120 plus degrees inside the cabin, it's not going to go down for a while. So we're waiting for our electric fans to come on. Now what I noticed, even though this has been running for a long time, I was waiting for the thermal fan clutch to ever kick in. It never kicked in. We hit our 240 PSI, which you don't see right now because they already kicked on. This pressure switch on this vehicle at 240 PSI closes the contacts, energizes the relay, sends power to the fans, kicks on the fans. So let's see if we go low enough. And we're at idle, and this is a fixed piston compressor. I'm going to start driving that home in my next few videos, hopefully for a week or two, about fixed piston compressors do not work efficiently at idle. You do not take your temperature and pressures at idle on a fixed piston compressor, because they will not work in their efficient range. So whatever you get is not right in the first place. So what I'm waiting for is the high side to drop down low enough. So I want to see where that pressure switch actually kicks out, and I want to make sure it kicks out. But it's kind of warm today, so it just might stay floating up here this whole entire time and never go down, which I'm thinking is going to happen. I'm going to have to boost the idle up. And since I'm only left with my Testo as my remote gauge set today, because everything else is on vacuum pumps at different jobs, I'm left with what I call this turd. Yep, let me kick this up and see what happens. Where is my other phone? Nope, don't have it on me. I wanted to try to see if I could hook up to the Testo and kick that puppy out. And I'm doing the beer can cold method. Ah, yeah, it works. That's good enough. Okay. Let's see if I could get that puppy up there. I gotta go grab my temperature probes. Wasn't ready to shoot video yet. Not set up. It's falling, but it's too hot in here. And actually, let me open up all the doors and windows, because all this vinyl interior is literally burning hot inside here. It's uncomfortable to sit on. So all the windows are opening up so I can flush. It's better to have 75, 85, or 90 degree air trying to cool off than 120 or 130 degree cabin air. As the evaporator cools off, you can see the low side going down. But it's too hot outside. That high side is never going to come down. And from what I can see, this old thermal fan clutch, even if I disengage the electric fans and allow the thermal fan clutch to heat up like I was trying to do before, the thermal fan clutch is just never kicking in. Even though it's low mileage, only 50-some thousand miles. It's 19, what was this? It's over 20, 30 years old. So thermal fan clutch just is not doing its job. But the electric fans are, pressure switch is, relay is, and we're starting to condensate and get water here. Like the old HVAC guys would say, beer can cold, good enough. No, but we don't settle for good enough. We want better than good enough. All right, I'll go get my temperature probe. I'll get the feel. I have those with me. I have the temperature. I'm not going to even bother with the testo. I've been having so much problems with the software with the testo and connecting up with the wireless probes. Sometimes working, sometimes not, dropping out, not finding them at all. I'm still having that problem, even with the second replacement gauge. All right, catch you on the next video.